Look at this guy coming up the hill. Oh, we're back. Now, I know. It has been a long time since I made a video. It has been quite a while. So long, in fact, that I'm riding a new bike now. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's been like a week since I've rode, and this bike is only the second time I've ridden this bike, so I'm not really that used to it. Woo. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, about making videos. It's been a while, and there's good reason for that. And basically, it's just making videos hasn't been fun. It's been more fun to just come and ride. And so that's what I've been doing. I've just been out riding instead of making videos about riding. But now that the weather's cooling down, and it's been a while, here's the thing. I've never made any videos in my life, and I thought that making videos would make me want to ride motorcycles more. And so I thought, hey, I'm gonna start this YouTube channel, and this will help me go out and get on the bike and ride more, and maybe it'll get my wife out to want to ride with me and all this stuff. Well, come to find out, it's a lot of work. And so how many videos have I made? 7 maybe? 5, 7? I don't know. But in making all those videos, it's a lot of freaking work. So I ended up spending more time editing videos than I did riding bikes. And I don't even edit that much. I prefer videos to be a little more raw. Not really, woo! Hopefully that didn't give me a pinch flat in the front. Yeah, I prefer a more raw video. And I don't know if people like that as much, but hang on. Let me fix my backpack. I don't know if people like raw videos more, but I do. And so I don't really see a point in making videos if it's not a video I wouldn't want to watch. And obviously with my subscribers and my views, even though, I mean, it is just new, but hey, maybe people don't really want to watch it, but who cares? I'm just doing it because it's fun for me. And so if it's fun for me, I don't really care what other people care about it. But that's the story. I've just been not too into video making. So instead of making videos, I've just been riding bikes. Riding the DRZ. Now I'm selling the DRZ. I picked this one up. This is a 2008 WR250R. And I've had a lot of people kind of talking crap, saying, why would you go from a DRZ 400 and drop all the power that you have in that 400 down to a 250? And the truth is, I'm not a professional rider. You think I'm gonna notice the performance difference? Not really. And to be honest, there hardly is a performance difference. I think it's like this bike has 28 horsepower and the DRZ has like 32 or something. So it's super small, the difference in the two. This bike is a little bit lighter, so that takes a difference and makes it an even smaller difference. So I don't know, I don't really. Plus, one, who doesn't like getting and trying and riding new bikes? I know I do. This is where you see the difference. This bike is more of a rider's bike. You have to know what you're doing a little more. You have to ride it a little more, where the DRZ would just tractor up that. This thing won't really do that. So that's the difference that I've found, at least in the one time. I've only rode this bike one other time. This is the second time I've ridden it, and I've never ridden it here. So that's kind of why I'm being such a pussy. But man, it's super windy too. But as far, this thing feels so much lighter than that DRZ, and I don't know if that's because I have the Supermoto set up, but this thing feels so much more nimble. It feels more like a dirt bike. The front end feels light. I can flick this thing around. It has a little bit better turning radius. And so the other place I rode was in American Fork. And when I was going up the switchbacks, on the DRZ, I would lock my forks on those switchbacks. And on this, I don't. It just has a little bit more turn, so I don't hit the lockout on the turning, which is nice. Woo! I wasn't ready for that. This is fuel injected, so you don't have to deal with the carburetor. This is the first year they made the fuel injection on the WR. And now I just wanted to try a new bike out. As for now, I have the DRZ up for sale. I haven't gotten much bite on it, but it's going into winter, so I'm not really too worried on selling it before spring. My wife might have a different story about that, but I say just keep it. Keep it until spring and then see what happens. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. So I'll probably still ride that. In fact, I rode that today. Not here, obviously, but out to work. What else has been new? I don't think I'm gonna do much to this bike. I'm not a big, I don't know, I don't feel like, especially with my riding style, that I need to change too many things. eventually I'd probably like to get some kind of rack or bag for the rear. That way I can do some trips with it, because that's still the ultimate goal, is to do trips. We were planning on doing a trip to the BDR this year, but that's kind of fallen through, and so that's not going to happen this year. But hopefully next year. Maybe we'll try and plan that out for early spring next year. I think the one thing I'm going to do to this, it's not street legal right now, and the tires are not DOT tires on it. So I'm probably going to get new tires, and I'm thinking I might get the 606s. And I'm also thinking I'm going to do the tubeless upgrade at the same time. And other than that, I think that's all I'm going to do. Tubeless and get new tires, and I'm probably not going to license this until I sell the DRZ, or until the DRZs is up. If the DRZs comes up before I sell it, then I just won't renew it, and then I'll update this one or register this one. But until then, it's licensed in Nevada, so it's not even licensed here in Utah. But we had all day today while I was at work, I was talking about wanting to ride, and late in we didn't leave till late, almost 5. And here it is now at, oh, it had to be before 5, a little before 5. Unless this clock is wrong. Maybe it's on Nevada time. It is, it's 7 right now. The bike's still on Nevada time. But, yeah, I got a late start, but I figured I wanted to come out and give this a rip out here. I tried getting Paul and Aaron to come, and neither one of them wanted to go, so I just figured, why not go? I do this every freaking time, I think. I wonder what happens if I just go this way instead. We're just gonna go for it. This is just a big old loop, huh? So now you know, don't go this way for sure. The cool thing is, now I have this GPS on here, which I just came with it, and right now it's tracking, so I can just track this loop, which, by the way, this loop is one of my favorite spots to hit. It's gonna be pretty dark by the time I get done, though. This is a great feeling little bike, though. I think this is where I want to go up. I've gotten quite a bit of riding in this year. I mean, it's been pretty hot, so it's not super fun to ride in the heat. The temperature's starting to get perfect now, but we've gone to American Fork Canyon quite a few times, and over Labor Day I went down to St. George and rode a little bit just by myself, which I didn't really know where to go, so it was a lot of just exploring, trying to find spots to hit. So to tell you the funny story about this bike, I saw it the day it came on KSL, and I thought, man, that's a great bike, but it was about a 4-hour drive from where I live, and so I thought, nah, I'm probably not going to end up getting it. But for the price, it was a good deal, and that's why I thought somebody would pick it up. So the first day I texted the guy, and I asked him about it, and he said, oh yeah, I got a guy, I think this was like a Tuesday, and he says, oh yeah, I got a guy coming out Thursday to look at it. I'll let you know what happens. And I said, alright, cool. And after that, I got rid of my phone, actually. So I didn't have a phone for like 3 days. And I hadn't forgotten about the bike, but without having a phone, I had all but forgotten about it. So Friday comes, and Aaron had come down, and he was looking at buying Jeeps, so we went and looked at some Jeeps, and then Saturday came, and after he had been looking at Jeeps, I was thinking, oh man, I wonder if that bike is still there. And so Saturday, I had Aaron text the guy and say, hey, you still got it? And he did, he still had it. So this was at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and like I said, the guy lived about four hours away or so, and we had just gone out and looked at another Jeep for Aaron, and so we were in the middle of nowhere already. We didn't have the truck, we didn't have the trailer, we didn't have anything, so we decided, let's just hightail it out there and go look at this bike. And so we got everything ready, went out there and checked it out. Oh, on the way there was a huge traffic jam on I-80 going out to Wendover, and it took forever. So we were supposed to be there like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. I think we told the guy we'd be there at 9 o'clock, and we didn't really take into account the time change. And so we're sitting there thinking, man, we're never gonna make it, because we sat in traffic for about an hour. So we were thinking, man, we're not gonna be there till 10 now, 10:30 maybe even. But we had completely forgot about the time change, and by the time we got there, it was 9 o'clock, like we had told him. We had just lost an hour, or gained an hour, I guess. But, we got there. I test rode it. I tried getting him to come down, but he wouldn't come down, and I don't know. After that long of a drive, I wasn't leaving without it. I figured even if I got it and didn't like it, I could sell it and probably make money on it. Because it was pretty cheap. It was only $2,500. So that was my thinking on it. But yeah, we got there at 9 o'clock his time, which was really 10 o'clock our time. We didn't leave his house till probably 11 o'clock our time, because we had to sit and wait for him. He wasn't even home when we got there, and there was just a bunch of other stuff. And so then we left, and we didn't get home until about 3:30 in the morning. But all in all, I would say it was pretty worth it, because this is a pretty sweet bike. And it's got, what does that say, 2977, so 2,900 miles, 3,000 miles on it. But I can tell that the speedometer is off. The speedometer is reading fast, so the mileage is reading fast also, so it's even less than that. So for $2,500 for a bike that basically, I saw one on KSL the other day that was, I think it was a 2012, which really is the exact same bike for the most part, other than year. It had 1,000 less miles on it, so it was right at 2,000 miles, and I think it was like $4,300. I don't know. I'd have to look at my thing again, but so I would say I won on this bike, and it's pretty sweet so far. It feels pretty good. It'll take me a few more rides to get more comfortable on it, but it feels good so far. So I don't know. The tires feel really good, but like I said, they're not DOT tires. And after coming off of the Supermoto tires, how couldn't they feel good, I'm guessing? This is really the first time I've ever even ridden with a true dirt setup. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, but I don't know if that really counts, because that was so long ago. So all in all, I'd say I'm pretty impressed and pretty happy with this bike. You can say all you want about a loss of power from the 400, but I don't notice it. Not on my limited skill set. To be honest, when I first bought the DRZ, well, I didn't even buy the DRZ. I got that DRZ off of a trade, and that's the reason I got it, is because I was looking for dual sport bikes, and I wanted a WR250R. That was my gold standard, I thought. That was a bike I really wanted. But they were so expensive. And I had a Kawasaki Vulcan at the time, a 900. And a guy in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in had that DRZ, and he said he wanted to trade it for a cruiser. And so I just straight swapped him over for it, which I thought was a decent deal too. So I got that DRZ for nothing. Basically learned how to ride on it. And my thought is, if you can ride an SM through stuff like this, or American Fork, or the Fillmore one, if you've watched that video, if you can ride a Supermoto through that with not the best wheels, not the best tires, then you're doing all right, I think. So I would say that was a pretty good starter bike. A good bike to teach me fundamentals and how to ride better. And like I said, I'm not the best rider on the planet, but I wouldn't say that I'm the worst rider on the planet either. I don't know how true it is, but I've talked to multiple people that have said, if you can ride American Fork Canyon, then you're a decent rider. I mean, you're no Graham Jarvis, but you're a decent rider. So there's that. Yep, it doesn't tractor like the old DRZ does. And oh, that front tire is low. I keep pinging off of rocks and I'm not liking it. And it's starting to get black. It's looking like it's about to rain. I think the rest of the week's supposed to be pretty rainy. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to really get out tonight. And my weekend is looking pretty packed. So I was thinking it was probably tonight or nothing. So I took advantage. Hey, I've heard nightmare stuff about this rear suspension, the rear shock on this thing, that it flings you, but I wouldn't say it does. I've gotten air off of multiple whoops here, and I haven't been flung. Not once. If anything, I'd say the rear doesn't come up quite as much as the DRZ. It's felt pretty good. Yeah, this is a great riding little bike. I know this isn't the fastest lap around here, but I'm really trying to not blow my rim or my tire out on the front there. I didn't realize it was flat. Well, not flat, but as low as it is, until I got out here. So I don't really feel like blowing that bitch out. I wish this trail wasn't as rocky as it was, because you could hit it so much faster if it wasn't. Utah in general, I wish was just a little less rocky. Man, I brought a jacket thinking it might be kind of cold, and I am on fire. Should I go up this little goat trail? I don't know how that'll come across on the camera, but that was not super easy. So, basically, I would say this is kind of an update video, and the gist that I'd like to get to is I think I'm going to try to make more videos, more content, maybe not weekly like I was doing when I very first started, because that kind of blew me out, but, and maybe I will, I don't know, but every couple weeks I'd like to make a video, and maybe it'll just be like this, and I really don't think I'm gonna edit any of this. I'm just gonna basically put it up raw, maybe fix the sound, see how the coloring looks, but other than that, I'm probably not gonna do anything to it. And put it up, and that'll be the gist of it. And I think that's probably how the majority of my videos will be, because I feel like in the internet age we have enough stuff that is highly produced and highly messed with that people can tell you whatever story they want to tell you. I don't really want to tell a story other than the story of reality. I just want my videos to be real, and I think that's what the internet's there for, and content sharing's there for, is to put out real content, the real life reality TV. Nothing scripted, nothing. Maybe I'll have an agenda at certain times, but I won't really be able to dictate that agenda. It's just gonna be whatever happens, happens. So, and we'll see what goes from there. Because that's the content I like. And don't get me wrong, I like good content too. Like, I don't know, Everride puts together good videos that are highly produced. But to be honest, the videos that he has been making lately that are just raw, mostly raw, and him sitting in the background talking, that's what I like more. I don't want him to tell me a story. I want the adventure to tell me a story. So, or Joey Mag. Joey Mag makes great videos that are hilarious. I wouldn't necessarily call them real though. But I love his videos too. It's just a different kind of thing that there is to watch. So long story short, I'll be putting out videos that are probably, well, depending on how long the ride length is. A ride like this is what, about a half hour? So my video will be close to a half hour, and it's going to be completely raw. And maybe I'm talking and giving you something specific to talk about, or maybe I'm just with buddies and I'm not talking at all, or I'm just saying, oh shit, that was a big bump, or who knows. But it's going to mostly be raw. Oh, I just thought of something else. One other thing that I'm probably gonna do to this thing, not probably, I will for sure, is I need to get a new skid plate, because on the bottom there's basically no skid plate, and on the sides of the cases there's like a plastic plate, so that won't really do. It's okay for riding like this, it's not too hard, but it's not really a good the K-Savers are just cheap insurance, so cheap-ish insurance, so I'll be doing that too. Oh, and I got Aaron to do fork sills for me. I didn't do shit. Alright, well, that's about it. Maybe, you know what we'll do? I'll do a little walk around. I'll probably do a little review on this Voyager, because there's not really many out there. And it's kind of gimmicky. Not super gimmicky, but a little gimmicky. But yeah, there it is. 2008 WR250R. Everything's stock exhaust. Obviously the tires are different. There's a new chain, new sprocket. They put these LEDs on. I think I'm the third owner. So LEDs, LED rear, the bark busters, which aren't bark busters, I don't know what they are. Cheap busters. But other than that, everything's stock. There's the Voyager, Trailtech Voyager. But yeah, I think that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.